Guys, don't ask why I'm on my channel. Anyways, before I go for this, I want to say, welcome back to Spooky, Scary Saturday. Hold on, can you hear me, guys? Can you? Okay, I think you can hear me, but just for emergencies, welcome back to Spooky, Scary Saturday. Oh wait, you guys can hear me. The thing is, the little bandy cam, it's the microphone's going up. Okay. Well, let's start our first film. This first film is called Ice Trays, and it was from someone named Deformed Lunchbox. Don't ask me why the name is like that. I don't even know why the name is like that. Okay, let's start. Ice Trays. Oh, let me get my cover for this. Sorry, guys. Okay, now we can continue. Why is the ice tray red? First question is, hold on, let me turn this sound up. By the way, don't ask why while I was talking I was listening to my Pyrophobia gameplays. It was because the latest video was a Pyrophobia. Oh. Wait, how'd that happen? That's disgusting. Well, if I wasn't able to blur it out, which you would know if I blurred it out, I would have probably I would have probably cut it out if I didn't blur it out. If I didn't blur it out, it would mean because I wasn't able to. Because I use TextSniffer editor, and I don't know if they allow their stuff to be blurred. Don't let that stuff in your drink. That's the worst ever. What are we watching? This is so disgusting. This guy's disgusting. Next film is called Two Little Caesars Pizza Horror Stories animation, and it was uploaded by MJV Animations. I do not know why I'm watching this, but let's just hope this ain't as cursed as that one film that was named. Okay, let's pause.
The fat man was my least favorite customer.
I
You
mean,
could
not
smell him
let's
come in
pause.
before you saw him. Nearly 7 feet
start.
tall and at least 400
Gosh,
pounds.
mistake.
The guy had a
Let's
distinct
just
smell.
hope that this ain't as
Something like
disturbing
cinnamon and burning hair.
as
I didn't dislike the man because of his appearance or odor,
well, if you heard me fall away, it's because
I hated whenever the customer
around the bed. I was
Brad
talking
came
from
in because he ate
off
his
the bed. I'm
pizza
going
like he
on the
was
bed.
going to war.
Okay.
Brad would settle his bulk into a corner table, then order our largest deep dish pizza to start. That was his appetizer. He liked to work his way through our hot and ready menu. If a particular item caught his attention that day, he ordered double. His mid-meal break was a triple order of crazy bread, an order of wings, and all of this was washed down with liters of Diet Pepsi. The way Brad ate terrified children and ran off other customers. He hit the pizza harder than the Allies when they stormed Normandy Beach.
This is just as disgusting as the film Ice Train.
In every direction when Brad chewed. It was like someone set off a hand grenade inside of a lasagna. His shirt, cheeks, and table were splattered each session before he was halfway done. Anyone sitting within a dozen feet of Brad was in danger of being struck by debris. And the sounds he made when he ate. And I still have nightmares about the slurping, chomping, gurgling, moaning sounds. Suffice to say, no one ever wanted to wait on Brad when he visited our Little Caesars.
Packers, Bills.
Oh, really?
So, as the manager, that duty
Sorry,
usually fell
I
onto
just got
me.
angry over that.
We tolerated Brad scaring away our other customers because there really wasn't a legal reason to ban him. That is, until one morning in January, when Brad waddled into the restaurant holding a small cooler, took his usual seat in the corner, and ordered every cheese pizza that we had in the kitchen. Brad, I think we've got about 80 pizzas cooling back there, I told him. How many do you actually want? 80 is a good start, but you'll need to keep them coming. I have an appetite today. What's in the cooler? Brad grinned. His teeth were awful. Just some toppings I brought from home. We don't really allow that. Do I need to register a complaint with Little Caesars main offices again? I sighed. Fine, whatever. Just don't make a mess. Brad lifted his cooler onto the table and started poking around inside while I walked back to the kitchen to give them his order. When I returned with Brad's Diet Pepsi and first pizza, I nearly gagged when the smell from his cooler hit me. Inside of the box were dozens of plastic baggies arranged around a few ice packs. The baggies were smeared with a thick pinkish fluid and contained gray chunks of what I had to assume was meat. Whatever it was reeked like it was spoiled. You can't eat that, I said, setting Brad's order on his table. The food in your cooler has gone bad.
This is just... Okay, I'm going to fill up my water. I'll be back. Turn it off. Turn it off!
Brad just smiled and popped one of the gray blobs into his
We're
mouth,
back.
then licked the pink fluid from his chin. I retreated before my
I
stomach
hope you like
betrayed
that
me.
little thing I did
The
where
rest
I
of the
went.
staff and I barricaded ourselves in the kitchen as well as we could. Every few minutes, I would run another pizza out like I was charging across a battlefield dodging cannon fire. Brad's rotten toppings and wood chipper eating style scared away most of the customers.
He couldn't even enter the door.
Immediately, one brave family tried to stick it out, sitting at the opposite end of the room. But Brad ended up choking on a slice of pizza, then coughing it up. The wad of dough and phlegm shot all over the tables and splattered the family. Brad started laughing, spraying more food. That was too much. I stormed over to Brad's table as the family left in disgust. "That's it. You're banned from Little Caesars," I shouted. Brad just continued to munch. "But I haven't finished." "Finish up then. Eat as much as you want and more. But after you leave today, you're banned permanently." Brad shrugged and thrust his empty glass at me.
Guys, I know you think all those puzzle ads are fake. But today I finally found the game. Ebony.
Is it serious? We're gonna keep doing?
"Refill." The big man continued to eat for hours. I'd never seen him tear through pizza, wings, and crazy bread like he did that day. At one point, he slouched over, and I thought he was finally done. But then, he popped up and beckoned me over with one swollen hand. I didn't know how Brad could possibly keep eating. The buttons had popped from his shirt, and his belly spilled over his legs. "I want to try some of my toppings warm," he said, nodding towards one of the disgusting baggies. "Toss those in the microwave for me." "Absolutely not." "If you do, I promise I'll leave here in the next hour." I pulled my shirt over my nose and tried to defend against the stench and gingerly picked up the baggie with a napkin. I hurried back to the kitchen, poured out the vile gunk into a bowl, and put it in the microwave. The odor was overwhelming, and I knew we'd need to air out the kitchen for days to get rid of it. I immediately regretted listening to Brad's request. Maybe it was time to call the cops and have him tossed out. "More!" I heard him yell from the dining room. "Stack them high. And I need a refill." Since I was watching the microwave, my assistant manager Bianca was the one who had to run out the next tower of pizzas and a 2-liter. The microwave beeped, and I extracted the foul contents. When the steam cleared, I nearly dropped the bowl. Not because it was hot, but because outside of the little baggies, I could finally get a clear look at the toppings Brad had brought from home. Most were unrecognizable lumps of pink.
We're done. Spooky Scary Saturday is canceled. No, I'm just kidding. It was just because I saw Annie right there. Okay, let's continue.
Brown, but one object was unmistakably, undeniably the bottom half of a human ear. I placed the bowl on the counter, my face cold with shock. Before I could decide how to react, there was a shriek from the dining room. I made it to the kitchen door just as Bianca came running inside, clutching her arm. At first, I thought she'd gotten pizza sauce all over her hand. There was so much red. Then, I realized all of her fingers on her left hand except for her index and thumb were gone. Nothing but raw stumps. "He bit me!" Bianca screamed. "I tried to put the pizzas down for him and that monster snapped." I heard the sound of falling tables and a loud crash. Not one part of me wanted to go look, but I was the manager. The staff at Little Caesars were counting on me. "Wrap Bianca's hand in a towel and keep pressure on it," I instructed one of the cooks. "You, call 911, I said to another.
So Bandicam always ends up in 10 minutes. Correct?
And
so
the police.
obviously
I took a breath and walked out into the dining room to find Brad on the floor. He'd fallen from his chair and knocked the contents of his table everywhere. He had half of a pizza in his mouth, his jaws trembling as he chewed, and he was crawling towards another pile of slices. "What did you do?" I whispered. "What is wrong with you?" Brad spit out the pizza long enough to laugh. "She wouldn't have gotten so close to my food. You don't mess with a man's food."
Can't punch him. Don't mess with a man's food? Really? 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 No, you didn't. Okay, let's continue.
My food. Where are my toppings? What are they? Friends and family. I've been saving them up for a while. For something special. Brad army crawled on his elbows, dragging his distended gut along the tiles. He made it to a nearby pile of pizza and began devouring it. His whole body looked swollen as a blood-drunk tick. The police are on their way, Brad. He nodded and started eating faster. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The man shoveled food into his jaw, swallowing without chewing. I couldn't help but stare. Once all the pizza was gone, Brad laid on his belly, licking his fingers. More, he demanded. No. More. For someone that big, Brad crawled fast. He came at me, pulling his bulk along with his bloody fingernails. I ran, tipping over a table and crashing to the floor. There was a tug at my foot. Brad had a hand wrapped around my ankle.
Oh,
He
you're
dragged
done.
me towards him, and I reacted on reflex, kicking out. My shoe connected a crack, and Brad jerked away, his nose bent at an unnatural angle. I said more, he growled, leaning on a table to stand up. But the table couldn't take his weight. The stand cracked when he was halfway standing, and Brad slammed into the floor, gut first. There was a horrible ripping sound, and I saw Brad's eyes go blank. He tried to rise again, but something was wrong. When he got to his hands and knees, it became clear that his body had finally burst from the pressure and the force of the fall. His stomach had a tear right around the belly button.
What?
They had to
No!
bring in a professional disaster cleanup crew to
did
dispose of the
it!
body and mop up the mess. We had to close
did
the
bloody
restaurant
stuff
for 48
again.
hours. To this day, Brad's last meal remains the second or third worst shift I've ever had managing at Little Caesars.
Okay. Wait, there's more? Oh, yeah, we're not gonna be watching that. Yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace!